What's going on, everybody? This is episode 795 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And it's all Atlanta Falcons. You know, this past weekend, it was the NFL draft. The draft is over now. We have a total of 8 players that are going to be added to the team, not counting to the undrafted free agents that have been signed. I know it's probably like 5 or 6 of them that's been added to the roster. But for right now, we're just going to talk about the draft in general. We already know the elephant in the room. We already know what is on deck when everybody talk about the Falcons now is the whole situation with Michael Penix and him being picked up or whatever. But I think a lot of people throughout the weekend started to realize, like, wait a minute, this is a very smart move by the Falcons. Maybe they've outsmarted everybody, or they did something so unconventional we didn't understand what was going on. Also, you look at the other picks in the draft. I understand that there's one way to be skeptical of things, but some people are absolutely negative and they just have like these convictions on how they feel about the team overall. And it says a lot. So we're going to talk about the clarity side of things. Everything is cleared up the way it is and people are understanding, and the conviction some people have when it comes to this team in general. So let's get into that. If this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want to watch the show, it is on Rumble. If you just want to listen, it is on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. I think Spotify does have a video version as well that I put up. Me personally, I can't find it when I put it up there. I may need to talk to Spotify about that, but I do upload the video version to Spotify as well. I could be followed on X at VF Baller. The website, I think I'm just going to get rid of the website altogether because just to eliminate cost and some overhead, because of the fact that I like the podcast being on a website. Don't get me wrong, I do. But at the end of the day, it's not worth it where other people just basically find other places to find the podcast. And I'm not necessarily putting a lot of stuff on the website where it is completely exclusive. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and get rid of it. And if you want to donate to the show, CashApp and PayPal links are below. So hopefully you guys will check all that stuff out. And I really appreciate the support. Let's get into it. The clarity of it all. I think the Falcons actually did a pretty good job with this draft class. Everybody wants to talk about the quarterback situation. Did we reach for defensive linemen? Look, we drafted, 4, 5 defensive guys out of this class? I mean, even if it's a reach on maybe 1 or 2 guys, it doesn't really matter. If they pan out, they pan out. Do it look like they're going to be in a situation where they pan out? I absolutely think they would. You got to understand, who are their coaches? Coach Raheem and defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake. Did you see what they were able to do with the guys from the Rams a year ago? I can't remember their names, but I know one thing. I will say this. These guys were late round draft picks, and they were highly productive, more productive than the Jalen Carters of the world, more productive than some of these other defensive linemen or defensive guys that everybody thought the Falcons should have took last year. They found a way to get the best out of the players that they drafted and they believed in. Same thing's going to happen here. They're going to try to get the most out of the players they believe in and that they drafted. When it comes to the wide receiver, Casey Washington, look, I think this kid is going to be nice. I think Casey Washington is going to be absolutely nice for the Falcons. I think this is a guy that nobody's talking about. I think he's going to be the Tyler Algier of our draft, where you find a guy, you can put him on next to Darnell Mooney, and you're going to see a guy that can get open, a guy that's going to be physical, and a guy that's going to be able to catch a lot of footballs for this team as a rookie and going forward. That's my firm belief. Now, if it doesn't happen, whatever. The entire internet is always worrying about hot and cold takes. Y'all got it. Whatever. It is what it is. But it's my firm belief with this offense, with Zach Robinson, and what he does with receivers. You look at what he did with Panuka. I think I cannot say his name. You saw what they did with him last year, and nobody saw that coming. I believe that they can try their best to get that type of production out of a kid like this. Now, that will be absolutely phenomenal if they did, because that'll be more than what Drake London's numbers are right now. But I believe that they're going to get that type of production out of him, or they're going to try to get the best out of him. And for a person that comes in at 6th round, that is absolutely awesome. Now, when it comes to running back, I've heard something else said. Somebody said something about the running back that's coming in from Alabama. Somebody said that we don't have that much depth behind Tyler Algier. Now I'm starting to think, is he going to be a between the tackles running back? Because if it is, I get it. Because him and Tyler Algier could be the guys that run between the tackles. Bijan Robinson, whatever y'all say about him, I believe he can run between the tackles too, but he could do so much more than what Algier and the running back that we're bringing in can do as well. He can do more. So he's going to be more of a weapon than anything. I don't think he's going to be one of these guys that's going to be running behind the tackles too much or running between the tackles too much with this offense that Zach Robinson has. So I kind of get it. Am I a fan of it? No, I think they could have went with cornerback or whatever. I think they could have went with another position, but I try to lean on their philosophy and what they're trying to do. And what they're trying to do, I let it ride and go from there. Now, when it comes to Michael Penix, because I already talked about all the defensive guys. I don't need to cover all of those guys. When it comes to Michael Penix, I think they outsmarted everybody with this pick. I think they basically looked at it as if Kirk Cousins was on this. They're basically looking at it like what they should have did with Matt Ryan and Justin Fields 3 years ago. I think that's what they're trying to do it at. Don't look at it as when everybody thought Justin Fields was going to be the next guy up. Everybody thought that the Falcons should have picked Justin Fields at number 4. I understand the logic. With this being this situation, they're looking at it from that same type of standpoint, but Kirk Cousins has not played it down for the Falcons. With that being said, they're playing the long ball game. And if you're a fan of the Falcons, I know this may be something that you're not a fan of. Maybe this is something you don't want to lean on. And I'm not saying this for everybody. There's a lot of people out there that's looking at this like this is the worst pick ever. Well, let's just say this. Just like what Colin Cowherd said, what I said on my on one of my YouTube videos. What if Kirk Cousins come here and don't pan out? What if his Achilles is a nagging injury that continues? Week 3 of the NFL, we're sitting here looking like we're about to bring Taylor Heineke out here. Are we going to try to do what Minnesota did and pick up a free agent off the street really quick? What are we going to do? Because there's no guarantees that everything is all as well with the quarterback situation. At some point, there was a lot of us thought that everything was good with Desmond Ridder. And the last thing about that, I do not want to be in another Desmond Ridder situation. And I think that Coach Raheem and Terry Fontenot feel the same way. So with that being said, they went to get Michael Penix. And I think either way, whatever happens, is either you lose out on a $100 million investment or you win with the $100 million investment and you don't have the quarterback that will succeed him. You win with that quarterback. You're probably going to be drafting in the top 20. In the bottom 20. And with that being said, when are you going to get a chance to get a quarterback like this with a generational talent like this? And I believe Michael Penix is a generational talent. A lot of people know that this kid is going to be good. A lot of people know that he's going to be a guy that's going to be able to make all the throws and make everything, absolutely awesome for all the receivers. So when you get Michael Penix in here after the 2 or 3 years, regardless of what happens, you're going to have a young nucleus right in line with his age, with him, Drake, Pitts, Bijan and Tyler Algier. And even if, these guys may move on, contract wise, whatever the case may be, the main thing is you have that quarterback. This just goes to show you that this is a really big situation where people have to understand how much the quarterback is valued in the NFL. We saw this firsthand when Matt Ryan was out the door and we had to rely on Mariota and Taylor Heineke and Desmond Ridder for the past 3 years. We saw how that played out. Who wants to be in that situation again? Are you willing to give up a first round pick? Are you willing to give up $100 million to make sure your quarterback situation is good for the next decade? A lot of people say he's going to be 26, 27. If you keep him upright, he's going to play for the next 10 years. I would love to have a quarterback like this for the next 10 years. We just had a quarterback that could throw the ball and play very well for 14. I could live with another 10 years compared to not having Kirk Cousins after 2 years, and God knows what type of quarterback that we may pull at, pick number 27. You kind of see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I feel like that the Falcons did a good job. I don't think it's, I can't say it's the best job in the world. I think they did good with this draft. Don't believe what the media is saying. They said that the Chicago Bears draft with Justin Fields was an A+. A lot of them said it was absolutely awesome. A lot of people said that the draft that we moved, the rookie class that we bought in, that went to the Super Bowl, and we had 4 starters out of that draft. A lot of people said that was a D+. So don't believe none of them. I'm not saying believe me. Just look at what's out there with the personnel that was just bought in through this draft. I think they touched every single base outside of cornerback. That's a fair argument. If you wanted a cornerback, I believe that the running back that they picked up, it could have been a quarterback. Could have been a cornerback. I take that. But at the end of the day, I think they did everything correctly. They picked up everything that they needed. Now, when I come to convictions, I think there's a lot of people out here, mostly fans they just want to be negative regardless. No matter what goes on with the team, they just have to find something wrong with what just happened. They found something wrong with the Michael Penix pick, and I get it. I understand that. I give you a pass on that, because when I first saw it, you saw my reaction on my live stream. It was kind of wild, because I didn't believe they would actually do it. But then they started making, negative stuff or negative comments about the next 4 picks, which was all defensive guys. As much as some of those same people, I wish I could have kept some of the posts that they put on Twitter or X about what they said. Oh, we need pass rush. Oh, we need D linemen. Oh, we need this, we need that. As soon as they pick up a D lineman, oh, well, I don't like that defensive lineman. Oh, we need a cornerback. Oh, now you're going to move the cornerback. I promise you, if we would have moved cornerback, they would have been like, oh, it's not that person. I think a lot of people just basically are mad because they're not picking the person that they want to be picked. I think that's the biggest issue with this entire thing when people have their own convictions. It wasn't Justin Fields, so people are mad. It wasn't Justin Fields again, when he was a free agent or when they was talking about trading him. People are mad. It wasn't Dallas Turner. People are mad. It wasn't Latu. I was somewhat mad about that. I can't lie. A lot of people wanted TJ Tampa. A lot of people wanted this person. They wanted that person. I get it. But at the end of the day, I feel like if you're really a fan, you trust the process all the way through and through. Unless it was something outrageously egregious, like just say if the Falcons decide to get Spencer Rattler at number 8, yeah, then I can understand the complete, meltdown of a lot of people. But I can't lie, man. The Michael Penix pick is a very, it's a very, good move. I can't lie. It's a very good move. And with that being said, I'm just very ecstatic that we do have somebody for the future, because nobody want to try to be chasing Arch Manning when you have to give up 3 first rounders because you're in the, pick number 18 or you're pick number 26 and you're trying to move up to get Arch Manning because that's the quarterback that everybody's going to be talking about in 3 years from now. Nobody wants to deal with that. Because when that happens, now people are going to be like, well, why we ain't got a quarterback? Well, and then on top of that, if he don't pan out, Cousins that is, that's a good thing. I ain't gonna say that's a good thing. It's a good thing to have a backup like Penix if Kirk Cousins don't work out. Because if Kirk Cousins don't work out, a lot of us gonna be like, oh man, we ain't got no quarterback. Well, you got one now. With that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. If y'all like this, comment, hit the like button, share this podcast. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Do you get some clarity out of what they did? Do you get, some conviction? Do you have some conviction with the way things were handled? Are you upset about it? Do you like it? Do you understand what they're trying to do? Are you on board? I'm on board. I like where we're going here. I really, really do. I like the draft picks. I like the people or the players that they brought in. I think it's going to be very helpful. I think we still need a little bit of help on the cornerback situation, but I do believe in Clark Phillips. I think Clark Phillips is going to be fine. That being said, I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, Spotify, and Apple. Follow me on X, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll be back with more videos on the YouTube channel and even on Rumble. All right, y'all. I'm out. Y'all take it easy. Peace.